everyone, and welcome to another video. So in my last video I let's say took a break from the actual modeling of Mr. Incredible to show you how to create that neat pattern that I will gonna use to apply on the dress, on the suit of my character. And just for fun, I applied some color here in ZBrush just to have a look on how the character will look at the end. Still haven't done the logo. I will do that in a separate video. So the character is almost ready to be rendered. However, it's not going to be very interesting if I render in this A pose. This is kind of like the pose that I needed for sculpting, but obviously for my render I wanted to give him some more interesting looking pose. And so today I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna pose my character, and there are various ways where you can pose your character. One way in ZBrush using a plugin called Transpose Master, or another thing that I like to do is to export the lower resolution mesh to Maya and create some quick bone and skin, and then I can articulate and move and pose my character there. I'm gonna show you that method. So the first thing we're gonna do is so here's all my subtools. So for now I'm just gonna hide the hair, because the hair are a lot of polygons, and I'm gonna click on all low, so everything will be brought to the lowest resolution mesh. And now I could go again and export each individual subtool and then import it into Maya. That's a bit tedious. There's a quicker way that we can do, and so we can use Transpose Master. And so we're gonna open so from Z plugin, go down to Transpose Master. If you click this button, T-pose mesh, what ZBrush will do will take all the visible mesh, combine them together, and create this new subtool. This is one unique subtool. As you can see, all my subtools here are gone. He merged everything together, and normally when in this mode what you might want to do is start creating some selection, and then use transpose to kind of move parts around and start posing your character this way. But I'm not going to do that, and instead I'm going to export this guy, and I'm not sure if renaming this OBJ will impact the result when imported back. So just to be safe, I'm not gonna rename it. I'm just gonna create here a new folder just to not get confused, and I'm gonna call it transpose. Okay, and I'm gonna export this object in here. Okay, now let's go into Maya. So Maya, I'm gonna import my object, which is this one, and here it is. again, it's quite small. So every subtool has been imported as a separate object, but I want it to be one object, so I'm gonna select all of them, and I'm gonna go to mesh and combine. I'm also gonna delete the history and freeze transformation. So now I have one object like that. And now what I want to do, I want to create some bones, and to do that I'm gonna go into my I'm gonna start with the leg. I'm gonna go to my side view. Okay, now the way I create the bones, it's a little unconventional. Usually you would go and place the bones correctly already in place, but what I do, I'm just gonna show you. So from the rigging module, I'm gonna go to skin. Actually no, I'm gonna go to skeleton and create joints, and then I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna hold shift and click and drag. So if I hold shift, as you can see, if I let shift go, I can move this joint around. If I hold shift, it's gonna be snapped along this axis. So I'm gonna create another joint here, and then again another here, again pressing shift like this, and then I'm gonna create another here, again pressing shift, and I'm gonna make another one and another one. So the reason why I made the bones like this 90 degrees, it's because I prefer to realign by rotating them to my character instead of just creating in place. So if I go to front view, these bones are in the center. So I'm just gonna move this guy here, and now basically what I want to do, I'm going to perspective. I'm gonna move my bones in place by rotating them. So I'm just gonna translate the first joint of my chain. Let me go into shading, extrude joints, so I can see the joints on top of my mesh. And basically what I want to do, I'm gonna rotate the joint and until they are in place. So rotate like this. This one, I'm gonna move along its axis like this, and I'm going to rotate it like so. And like this. So actually I'm gonna slightly rotate this as well, because the knee looks like the knee, it's kind of like here a little bit, maybe something like that. Or actually let me undo this. I'm gonna rotate this guy a little bit like so, and I'm gonna rotate these back there, and this is gonna go down here, and I'm gonna move this guy about there. So something like that, maybe. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit like this. These are a little bit too big, so I'm gonna select this joint and set something like that, 0.05, so I can see what I'm doing. Then I'm gonna select this guy, oops, only this guy, and rotate it like so. And I'm gonna move this guy here like that. Let's see. Well, to be honest, I don't care, so I'm gonna delete this and this. Or maybe I can just skip this one for now. This is gonna be, let's see, let me actually, you know what, I'm gonna move, I think I'm gonna move this guy back a little bit here, and this guy is gonna be about here, and then I can delete this one. Alright, something like so. Maybe I'm gonna rotate this guy slightly. Alright, something like that. Basically what I want to establish a rotation axis for my joints, and this might not be the most professional way to do this, but I found it more useful rather than insert the joints in place and then have to go and adjust all the rotation axes for each joint. I prefer doing this way. Next I'm gonna do the arm. So for this I'm gonna go into my top view, and for the arm I'm gonna go again into my joint tool, and I'm gonna create 1, 2, 3. So this is gonna be the shoulder, the elbow, and this is gonna be the wrist. And then from here I'm gonna make let's see, I'm gonna create another one. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is gonna be one finger, and I'm gonna duplicate this and move it here, and then duplicate it here, duplicate it here, and I'm gonna create one here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is gonna be the thumb, and these are gonna be the other fingers. So I'm gonna, with this selected, I'm gonna shift click this guy, and I'm gonna press P to parent, and I'm gonna do the same for the others, like this. P, parent, and parent. Alright. Now this looks obviously really weird, but hopefully it's gonna work fine. I'm just gonna select these fingers and set the size of the joints a little bit smaller, so I know what a little bit better what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go back to my perspective view, and I'm gonna start aligning these guys. Actually, let me go first on the front view. So this guy, so this is gonna be the shoulder. I'm gonna kind of want it in the middle here, about, let's see, about here maybe. And I'm gonna rotate this guy down there, and I'm gonna move this here, and the wrist is gonna go about somewhere about there. Now I'm gonna go into perspective, and I'm gonna move this guy about here and start rotating, and I'm gonna place my joints where I want them to be. So this is probably gonna go a little bit down like so, and this guy, so the rotation for this guy is gonna be this one, and the rotation for this guy, let's rotate like this, because I want the wrist, I modeled the wrist already bent, it's twisted a little bit, so I'm gonna rotate it like this, trying to get a line, so this is gonna move kind of like that. And so this guy, I'm gonna move it in place. This is just let's see, I want to move this guy about here. This is where roughly where the thumb should move, and I'm gonna rotate these guys down like so, and like so, and like so. And I also want to decide on an axis, rotation axis, so I'm gonna go with the Z for the fingers. So the Z now it's here. So let's see, if I check this one, I'm gonna get this. If you look at the color of the rotation axis, you can see that the blue one is the Z and the green one is the Y. So let's try to keep this for the thumb as well. So I'm gonna have to rotate this guy about here in order to get the Z-axis rotating this way, kind of like that. And select this guy and move it a little bit down like that. Let me activate my display here. This is gonna be about here, and this guy is gonna be about here. But actually this should be rotated like this and like this, so I get something like this. So I get the Z rotation like so, and these follow along. So maybe I'm just gonna rotate this guy a little bit. Something like this. Alright. Like this. And this is gonna be here. Okay. And now I'm gonna do the same for the other fingers. So I'm gonna place this guy about here. Like that. And let's start by rotating it too. And I don't need about actually this guy. So this one is gonna be a little bit like so. Okay. All right. And now this guy, I'm gonna move it about here. And the rotation seems a little bit off in this one. Let's see. Actually, no, that might be okay. Alright. Let's rotate this finger a little bit. Let's bring it down and rotate it like that. Now I'm gonna move this guy here and this guy about here. Okay. And oops, actually I don't need this guy. There's one more joint here that I don't need. So what I can do, I can unparent this guy here with Shift P. Unparent this guy here. I'm gonna get rid of this guy and select this and P to parent them. So now this guy is parented with my wrist. And I'm gonna move this guy down here and rotate it like so. And something like that. And now I'm gonna take this guy, move it up here, and this guy up here, and delete this guy. Let's see. Seems okay. The rotation axis seems okay. Alright, let's do this guy. So I'm gonna move it here and rotate it like that, and maybe bring it down a little bit like so. Like this. And now bring this guy up here and this guy up here and get rid of that. So this should be good enough. Alright. So lastly, we're gonna create the spine joints. So I'm gonna go into my side view again, and with my joint tool, I'm just gonna click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so go back to perspective, and I think for now these are good. So let's parent this guy with this guy and press P. And actually I want to create one more joint. I'm going back to the front view and I'm going to place it about here. And then let's move it kind of like here. Alright, this is gonna be parented here, this guy is gonna be parented here. Alright. Or actually, let's move this guy a little bit towards here. And now let's parent it. Okay. So now let's rename these guys. If I shift click on my plus icon, I will open the whole hierarchy. So the first joint, which is this guy right here, I'm gonna call it root. And I'm just gonna move up, so this is gonna be my spine 1. This is gonna be my spine 2. And then okay, spine 2. This is gonna be my neck and head. Alright. This guy here is gonna be left clavicle, and this is gonna be left shoulder. Oops, forgot an R there. And this is gonna be left elbow, left wrist, and so for the fingers, let's go L thumb 1 and just name it like this. So this is gonna be thumb 2, thumb 3, and thumb 4. Yeah, okay. Maybe I was thinking maybe I don't need this joint, but let's see. I probably don't need this joint here, just to keep things coherent. So let's shift P and parent this guy, shift P and parent this guy, and now this one and parent. Oops, no, it was the other way. This one and parent. So this guy here is gonna be thumb 1, thumb 2, and thumb 3, just to keep things the same as the other fingers, because I only have 3 joints. So this is gonna be left index 1 and 2, 3, and why this is here, I don't know. There we go. This is gonna be middle 1, middle 2, and middle 3. And then this is gonna be left ring 1, ring 2, ring 3, and then I'm gonna get the pinky 1, pinky 2, and pinky 3. Alright, and now this guy is gonna be left hip. This is gonna be left knee. This is gonna be left ankle. This is gonna be let's call it left foot, and this is gonna be left toe. All right, and now one last thing we need to do. We need to duplicate these guys on the other side, and there's a efficient way that we can do that. So I'm gonna select my left clavicle here. I'm gonna go to skeleton, and I'm gonna go to mirror joints with the option box, and I already have set it up. So the axis is gonna be YZ or YZ, and for the names I'm gonna search for L and replace with R. So I'm gonna click apply. As you can see, I got these duplicated, and they are called R underscore, which stands for right. I'm gonna do the same for my hip. Click apply, and here I have my right hips, and so this gives me a full skeleton that I can now bind to my model, and I can use to pose it. Alright, so for now, let's save this. Save as. I'm just gonna overwrite this rig 01. Okay. So we have our skeleton. Now the next step is to bind it to our mesh, because if I move my skeleton now, nothing happens clearly. So to do this, I'm gonna select my root and then shift select my object, and I'm going to skin, bind skin, and I'm going up here, option box, and I'm gonna reset settings just to be sure that I have everything. I'm just uncheck colorize skeleton because I don't want the skeleton to have colors, and I'm gonna click on bind skin. Alright, so now if I move my character, the mesh moves along. However, you can see that bad things are happening here, and bad things are happening here and here, and bad things are happening here. It's squashing this. So now I need to paint the weights, and there's an easy way that I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna show you the process. So I'm gonna select my mesh, and I'm gonna go to skin and paint skin weights options. Okay, so in here I can see I have my if I select the joints, it's gonna show this color represents the influence. So what I'd like to do, I'm gonna go into my root and make sure that my paint operation is on replace and my value is on 1. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flood everyone with the root joint. And I will show you what I will do later. Okay, so I'm gonna click flood. So that means that every joint is being assigned 100% to my root. Every vertex has been assigned to my root. If I select the other joint, as you can see, there are no colors showing up. Okay, so now I'm gonna shift select all of this, and I'm gonna lock them. Okay, now I'm just gonna unlock the root, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm gonna start from my fingers, and actually let's do the fingers later. First, let me see. No, let's do them now. So I'm gonna press B and scale down my my brush, and so I'm gonna scroll down to my left thumb 3, which is this guy here, and I'm gonna unlock it. And basically now what I'm gonna do with replace, I'm just gonna paint around my mesh like so. Let me visualize the wireframe. There you go, show wireframe. So I'm gonna just paint this guy here 100% like this. All right, and so what this does, if I go up and go back and click on my root, you can see that now the root has assigned everything except the tip of my thumb, which is assigned here to this vertex. So now I'm gonna lock this guy, and going up unlock this guy, and I'm gonna do the same. Now the beauty of this is that I only have to be careful where I paint on going up. If let's say that I paint the thumb a little bit, let's say that I go here and I paint a little bit of the thumb like this, I'm not actually worried because the thumb was now locked. So what that means, if I select a different joint and I go back to my thumb, as you can see, this area was not really affected because my thumb 3 was locked. So I'm gonna do the same, lock here. I'm going to thumb 1, unlock this, and for the thumb 1, so this is a little bit more tricky. So my thumb 1, I want it, so I want all this area here. Oops, I think I've done some damage there. Let me undo. Need to be careful. Okay. I think I want all this area like so. This is I'm not gonna be extra careful on what I do here. Because I'm actually, so let me see, actually what I'm gonna do, let me undo this real quick. I actually gonna paint only this area. Up to there, maybe. Something like this. And this is what I'm doing now. It will help me creating a pose for my character. I will be able to pose my character, but then even if I have weird distortion, I will clean that up in ZBrush. So I just want something to quickly be able to move the main joints. So let's see, maybe this should be fine. Okay, and lock this guy. So I'm gonna do this for the other fingers, and maybe I'm gonna speed up the video because this part might be redundant since I already did the same thing on the thumb. I'm gonna do the same thing on the finger, so no need to watch the whole process. So basically I just repeat over and over the same process of locking or should I say unlocking only the joint that I'm working on. In this way the joints that are above or below, they don't get affected by it, and so I can basically focus on only the area that I need to, without worrying about errors going outside. So it's a little bit tedious, but it gives me more control and it gives me best result overall. So after the fingers, I move to the wrist joint, and then I'm going to the elbow joint, and then the shoulder. And the process is always the same. And for the clavicle and then the feet, I'm just gonna go and keep painting only the area that I think will be needed for the movement. And then the thighs, always same approach, unlocking the joint and painting. And again, this will give me more control overall. So continue on going with the spine. I'm only actually painting half of the model because later I'm gonna duplicate the painting on the other side, so I don't need to paint both sides. And there's a bunch of polygons that they go inside the mesh. Those are a little bit tricky, but you can move the camera inside the mesh and paint them from there. And then the head and the neck, so just add those there, and basically just refine the overall paint. Alright, so now that I've done half of my character, I'm going to test real quick, and it seems that I forgot a bunch of vertices. So to test, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select all of my joints. I'm gonna press the S key to create a key. As you can see, this red mark here, and then I'm gonna go to, I don't know, frame 20 or something, and I'm gonna start moving this guy around. This, that, now this will help me to find out where I forgot to paint the weights. So as you can see, there's a bunch of missed weight there. Alright, okay. And I'm going to do the same. Select here all my joints. Make sure that I'm on frame, in this case 20, and click S to create another key. So now I can scroll between the two and see what's going on. So first of all, select my character, and I'm going to scan. Actually, before doing that, let's first fix the missing joints, the missing vertices. So it seems that all of these are supposed to these belong to the elbow joints. So going back here, let's go down to my left elbow here. I'm gonna unlock it, and let's paint this guy in like so. As you can see, as soon as I click, they snapped in place. Alright, now there's a bunch of things here that probably belong to the wrist. Let's see. Where do these guys belong? Yeah, they look like they belong to the wrist, so that's the wrist, and I'm gonna paint this guy. Okay, it seems that Maya does not want me to do this, so instead I'm gonna go here and select these vertices, and I'm gonna go into skin and click hammer skin weights. And what this is gonna do, basically, Maya is gonna look at the vertices that they are nearby, and they're basically gonna average the weight to these vertices that I've selected. So let's see. This guy seems to be. Let's do the same here. I'm gonna press G to redo the same options. G. Okay. So let's see. What about this guy? Alright, and now so save, and now I'm going to, so since I only painted the weight on one side, I'm gonna have to do the copy them on the other side. So I'm gonna go to skin, mirror skin weight. So just to try this out, as you can see, the right side of the arm is not moving. I'm gonna go and click apply, make sure that the axis is YZ, which is correct, and I'm gonna click apply. So now hopefully, alright, yeah, hopefully now my should have transferred the vertices. Alright, good. Okay, so obviously what we have here, it's not very good, of course. So now we're gonna apply to this model a deformer called delta mush, which is right here. But before doing that, so there is something that I couldn't quite figure out. So if we just apply the deformer on this mesh and export it back to ZBrush, ZBrush will fail to reconstruct the pose correctly. I don't know why this is happening. So the only workaround that I found is to duplicate this mesh and apply the delta mush on one copy, and then transfer the skinning from the delta mush to the copy. Basically, the idea is to have a mesh that has only skinning apply. If anything else is on top of the skinning, for some reason when I export it back to ZBrush, it's not gonna work. So this is very important, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. So first of all, let's duplicate this mesh. So I'm gonna select it, and I'm gonna go to edit and duplicate special, and click on the option, and it seems that everything is fine. I want to duplicate the input graph, so I'm going to click apply, and as you can see, now I have a duplicated version of my model here. And so what I want to do, first of all, let's see, -3 or something, so I know what it is. I'm gonna key the selected here, and -3, key selected, so I have it right there. Alright, now on the copy, I'm going to apply my deform delta mush deformer. Okay, and now when I move the animation, you can clearly see the difference. So as you can see, the delta mush is smoothing quite nicely all my weights in this way. And I can also go and say, if I select it, I can smoothing step, I can bring it to 1 to smooth even more, and I can even go and try something like this. But if I smooth it too much, usually it starts behaving kind of weirdly. So for now, I'm just going to leave it at 10. Keep in mind that delta mush, it does not substitute a good skin painting of the weights. I'm just gonna use it because it's a quick and dirty way to give me something that I can export to ZBrush. So now, how do I transfer this delta mush to this mesh on the skinning? Because delta mush, it's a deformer, and so if you export this mesh, let's say it's for a real-time game or real-time application, you cannot use it. This is only inside Maya. So real-time application for like engine for games, they only accept skinning. So in order to transfer the delta mush into skinning, Maya 2017 update 3 has a new option called Bake Deformer tool, and this option is new. It will be likely integrated in Maya 2018. It's kind of a hidden option. It's not in the menu, so the only way to use it is to go in here and type Bake Deformer tool and tool like that, and press enter, and it brings up this I'm gonna reset. Brings up this dialog here, and so the way to use it, it says source and destination. So the source is gonna be this guy, and so I'm just gonna middle click and drag here. Oops, seems I didn't get it. Okay, and need to be careful because for some reason I get this character in the beginning, so I'm just gonna remove it. So the skeleton is gonna be this one, and I'm gonna remove this character here, and I'm gonna do the same. The destination mesh is gonna be this guy, and the destination skeleton is gonna be this guy, and number of influence I'm gonna set something like 5. And before I click apply, I'm gonna go back to the default pose, and now I click on apply and close. So this basically Maya will go through each joint, is gonna spin it, and it's gonna basically store the information of how that specific joint deformed the mesh around it, and it's gonna try to copy that information, to transfer that information to the skinning mesh. So hopefully we're gonna get some result pretty similar to the one with the deformer. Okay, seems it's finished, and let's compare. So if I move like to 20, and I have to say he did a pretty good job. So overall the deformation seems pretty good. And let's see something. If I select if I select the same joint and I rotate it, as you can see, it's doing a pretty good job like that. Let's try with this one. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So let's undo this. Okay, so basically now that our character had transferred a good skinning, let's go back here. First let's save this scene. Save as. I'm gonna go to Maya, and I'm gonna call this rig02. Okay, so I don't need this guy anymore, so I'm gonna hide it. Now this before I can export this guy, to make sure that ZBrush will be able to apply my deformation to all the parts, I'm gonna need to, oops, seems that this guy doesn't want to be hidden. Okay, it keeps showing up, whatever, let's leave it there. So to allow ZBrush to import my deformations correctly, I'm gonna need to re-import the original mesh, the one that was divided with every pieces, and then I'm gonna copy this skinning into each piece. So I'm not sure if the names are important, so I'm just gonna rename this guy. I'm gonna call it skin. Okay, and I'm gonna import the original mesh, which is this one. As you can see, I have all the groups here, and what I'm gonna do, let me re-hide this guy so I don't get confused. So I'm gonna select all my pieces. I'm gonna select the root group, skin, and bind skin. So skin like this, and now I'm gonna select my skin guy, and I'm gonna control click my first piece, and I'm gonna go to skin, and I'm gonna copy skin weights. Okay, and I'm gonna repeat the operation for everyone. I'm just gonna select it and press G to repeat the last command. So this one, G, 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 and basically I'm going to transfer all the skinning information to my to these parts here. Okay, hopefully I didn't miss anyone. So I'm gonna hide my original guy, and let's see. Okay, so everything seems working. Okay, so before exporting, I went in and cleaned up a little bit the scene. So I've removed the extra skeleton, extra mesh, and I rename my parts, so just to have a little bit more clarity of what's going on. So now it's time to test if everything worked. So obviously this pose is not very good, but it's good enough to see if the system is stable and everything is working properly. So I'm gonna select all my meshes, and I'm gonna export them. So export selection, and I'm gonna call this T-pose1 test, and okay, export. I already have the file, but say yes. Alright, so okay, now let's go back to ZBrush and see if everything worked properly. So here we have our model. It's still our T-posed temporary model. As you can see in here in the subtool palette, there are no other subtools, it's just this guy. So I'm gonna go import, and I'm gonna go into my file, and this is T-pose1 test. Click open. Okay, as you can see, the character shape has updated, and now let's see if when I bring back all the subtools, let's see if everything worked properly. So I'm gonna click on Z plugin, and this time I'm gonna click on T-pose sub T. So hopefully, okay, all right. It seems that everything went successfully, and now I can just click on all high and see that there we go. Looks like everything came back properly. So I have all my details transferred back, and my character is posed. It obviously has this ugly pose at the moment. There's a lot of deformations going on, but this was kind of a test to see if everything was working properly. So now I can go back in Maya and make a decent looking pose, and we can in the next video I'm gonna import that and see what's the procedure to clean it up in ZBrush. So let's quickly back to Maya. Okay, back to Maya, and I spent some time making this new pose, which looks better than the one that we have before. To be honest, there's a bunch of things that we're gonna need to fix. So, for example, the shape of the fingers, as you can see, this is not very good, and as well as fixing a bunch of lost volume, for example, the elbows and things like that, and perhaps adjust the collar, which is a little bit too big, but everything should be fine. So once again, I'm gonna go select all my objects except this plane that I just used for reference, and export again, and this time I'm gonna call this tpose01. I already saved the file, but I'm gonna export it and click yes. So now back to ZBrush. Okay, back in ZBrush, and so now once again, this is my original file. So once again, I'm gonna go to plugin and tpose mesh to recreate our single element, and I'm gonna go to import and find the tpose01, click open, and here we go. Here it is. And so now let's see if again everything it's good. So tpose sub t, and Maya is going through. Okay, good. Everything seems to work. So click on all high. All right, and seems everything's fine. So as you can see, this method allows me to go back and forth in Maya and quickly change the pose of the character, and just it's kind of a nice workflow, just back and forth. So I think I'm gonna stop this video here now, and in the next video I'm gonna take this mesh and start refining it for the final pose. Again, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my video, to my channel, and like my video, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.